That ruddy duck was right in front of me. Like 10 feet away. My 500, my Canon wouldn't have focused on that. That's, wow. Oh my God. Oh, there she is. Where's the focus button? Focus. Oh, that was the ISO button. That was not the focus button. That was the ISO button. Oh, what's up, guys? Welcome to a new camera episode. So I finally did it. I finally ditched my R5 and my 500 f4 Mark II. And I got this guy. This is the OM1 Mark II with the 150 to 400, and it's got a built-in teleconverter 1.25. So no, I am not a trader. No, I am not completely ditching Canon yet. Just randomly, OM Systems reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try this, and I said, you know what, I do want to try it. So we're trying it. This is the first day out, and I'm gonna have it for about a month, so I have plenty of time with it. I got, yesterday when I got the camera, or when I got it all set up, and I went outside my front yard and I got some bush tits like right away, and that made me so happy because bush tits are really hard to photograph. They're really small, really flappy, and really rambunctious, and I got some of the best shots I've ever got with them, like right out the gate with this thing. I was very excited about that. So on that high, we're gonna come out here at the worst time of day with the worst light.
It was all your idea.
It was all my idea, and we're gonna see what we can get. I hear a pied-billed grebe over there, and I got ruddy ducks. The usual suspects. I'm not expecting anything fancy or amazing. I'm gonna shoot anything that moves today. So let's go see how this thing does. Except my knees are stuck. I can't get up. I'm stuck. Brittany, help. Oh God. Okay. Oh, there's a grebe. Okay, come on. Let's go. Shh. Nope, it's gone again. Okay. I got something back. Am I recording? Now I'm recording. Wow, he looks pretty good. There's like a blade of grass in front of me. Oh, he's fluffy. Okay. The good news is the autofocus on here seems to be really good. Oh, she just dove. Biscuits. Where? Oh my God, Brittany. It won't focus. It's right above me. Well, it's not focusing. I lost it. Is that an Osprey? Is that an Osprey? That's an Osprey, Brittany. And it's so close, and I can't focus. There, it got it. It found it. That's an Osprey. My shutter speed was only at 1600. And it's flapping right over. Oh, here it comes, here it comes. Oh my God, it's right over my head. I can't see it. Oh, the sun. Well, I got its rump. Yeah, definitely got its rump. Right in the rumple region. I think I got some before that, but I don't know if they're in focus. Well, they're in focus. Oh, that's a rump. Wow. Oh. This one. Oh, it's got a fish, Brittany. It just dove. Biscuits. Oh, you know what? On the plus side, though, that is razor sharp. Oh my goodness. How do you rate on this thing? Oh, there it is. I always rate my images in the camera. I do 3-star minimum. That way, if I know I'm going to edit it, or if it's one that I want to take a look at, then when I go into Bridge in Camera Raw, I can just filter all of the 3-star and ups and just start with those. All right, well, it just dove, so we missed it diving, but I got it. That's so cool, and it's back. That's the first Osprey sighting here of the year, of the season. Oh, I'm so happy. I would have been happier if I knew what I was doing with this thing, but I'm very happy. Wow, and it focused through I was shooting through that tree, like it came around, and when it did get focus, it kept the focus with the tree in between us. So that was impressive. But man, it struggled like finding it. My Canon wouldn't have missed that at all. Wow. This ruddy duck right here, and this pied-billed grebe's closer. Oh, there's a male ruddy right behind camera lady. I'm trying to get this. This has a button right here for the exposure compensation, because when I'm shooting in backlight, it's really bright out here and I want to overexpose. But then when I turn a little bit, and then, you know, I'll get side light or front light or whatever, I don't want to overexpose anymore. And it's like, I thought you press this and hold it down and then you shift there. Now it's working. But I don't know why every time okay, that's weird. I don't know what's going on, but it worked. And now there's a pied-billed grebe right here. Yep. I don't know what's going on. The focus is pulsing. Oh, there it goes. So I was locked on still, but the focus was still pulsing, kind of like it does on the R7. Like it's like it nailed it, but then it's like, am I sure? Well, what am I doing? Well, oh, there. You know, like, but it didn't completely drop. It just pulsed a little bit. I don't know. There's a lack of terminology there. What's interesting too is, oh, that coot's red eye just showed. Come on. Whoa, that was way too fast. Oh, wow. What was I saying? And I have it back button focus set up too. So I took the focus off the trigger, and I have it back button set up to my AF on button. Right? Is that the yeah, AF on button. So that's cool that it does that. It does that really well. All right, I gotta get up because I can't feel my legs. Wow. All right, let's go to this other side right here and see if we can get some backlight. I mean, some regular front light. Another grebe right here, and it dove, and then I ran over here and got down, and I didn't see it come back up, and I think it popped way up over there. But I did just get a spotted towhee. I mean, it's a horribly crappy shot, but for demonstrative purposes, it was impressive because I was shooting through like 96,000 tree branches, and this thing locked onto it most of the time. That was impressive. I really am remembering how much I miss light light gear coming from my 500. This is heavier though by like a pound, I think, heavier than my 100 to 500 was. And I just had forgotten how light of a setup that was. But this is really well balanced. Like I love the shape of this lens, and I love coming as a Canon user. This, I don't know why, but this feels, the grip on here feels really good and almost familiar like. The button layout's pretty decent. Again, from a Canon user, it's not that hard to like remap my hands because everything that I normally do is pretty close, surprisingly. And I'm really enjoying that. Is that a turtle? I think that was a turtle. Wow. Well, I was photographing this ruddy duck right here, and an osprey dove right in front of me. So I didn't get him diving like down on the downward, but obviously the splash, and I got him coming up, and I got him all the way across, like, you know, big long sequence. I'm a little afraid with this because the buffer, because this is an SD card, it's nowhere near as good as my R5 with the CF Express Type B cards. So I was a little hesitant to just lay on and just spray and pray for, 10 seconds straight. So I feathered the buffer, I feathered the spraying, and I got bursts of him. And the autofocus, I'm like scanning because I saw another one. The autofocus dropped a few times, but mostly it stayed on him pretty well. The part that really sucks is that I'm an idiot, and I had just lowered my shutter speed to 6/40th of a second while I was shooting these calm ducks laying down, and I didn't have time to boost it back up. Normally I leave it at 1,000 or higher, and so I think almost all of these shots are probably soft and a little blurry, and I don't know if some of the softness is due to the motion blur. Definitely it is in some cases, but in some cases I think I was tracking it, matching the speed properly, and it was looking good, but it still looked a little soft, like maybe focus was off just a little bit too. So it's hard to tell. A little frustrated, but that's user error. I don't think that's mostly the camera, except for when it dropped the focus a few times. I'm curious if it would have dropped focus if I would have hammered on the whole time and not feathered it, So cool to see them back though. I'm glad. That means I can come back out here and I know that they're here. So, well, let's see what else we get. It's actually, I think I'm going to wrap it up here because it's getting late. It's getting dark. This thing, we're going to see how well it does at ISO. I was at 6/40th of a second. It's 6 o'clock right now. The sun has an hour left, but it's cloudy. So with the R5 and the 500 f4, that's not a problem. With this at 6/40th of a second, I was already at 6400 ISO. So we're gonna see how that looks. I'm gonna get a couple shots of some ducks in the dark, not dark, but in the darker areas of the water, and just do some higher ISOs and see how it does. But this obviously isn't going to be a full review. This is literally just my first time out with it. So I think I'm just going to put up some pictures for you, and then we'll talk about editing, and maybe I'll do an editing session separately for this and see how the images edit. And then I'll be doing more over the month, so you can look forward to that. So if there's anything you want to know specifically, I'm probably not going to do too many scientific tests comparing this to, you know, my R5 or anything like that. That's apples to oranges. Mostly right now, I just want to get a feel for how this thing feels. And I would say that I'm about 95% super impressed with this thing so far. Like, I would enjoy having this as a secondary body and, you know, kit. I would probably enjoy the 300 f4 more, only for the fact that I could afford that. I could plausibly afford that one, whereas I could never afford this lens. This lens is like $7,500 or something. Like, it was more than my 500 f4 Mark II. You know, that's insane. I only paid $4,000 for that lens. All right, well, if I didn't already put up some images, here's some more. I got a lot of images today. And we'll talk more about this. I've got a lot of thoughts, but I'm reserving judgment, reserving thought process for after I use it more than once, you know? Real quick, I do got some workshops. I got one spot left on Scotland, June 2024. I got 3 spots left on June 2020. No, not June. Probably April, May-ish 2025. But this June, got 1 spot left. Private birding workshops. If you catch me for a private birding workshop within the next month for Arizona, New Mexico areas, then you'll be able to check this out if you want, because I'll have it for about a month or so. So links for that stuff is all down below. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.